Level 1. The elementary defector. You are 7 years old, sitting on a squeaky plastic chair in a brightly lit classroom during recess. In front of you is a half-eaten package of chocolate biscuits, and across the table sits your best friend,
for me?
holding a box of vintage cartoon stickers.
Yes, take it.
The teacher left the room, leaving a strict order. If both of you keep quiet, everyone gets extra play time. But if one of you talks, the talker gets a golden star, and the silent one cleans the chalkboard. Your heart races as you look at those stickers. You think about the bargain. If you both stay silent, it's fine, but the temptation to secure that star is overwhelming. You open your mouth and whisper a joke. Your friend looks at you in absolute betrayal just as the teacher walks back in. You get the star, but the walk to the school bus is entirely silent. This is the first time you realize that protecting yourself often means hurting someone else, even when it leaves a bitter taste in your mouth. Level 2. The playground cartel. At 12 years old, the stakes shift to the dusty corners of the backyard football pitch. You and a classmate are the two worst players, always picked last. One afternoon, you make a secret pact behind the equipment shed. Whoever gets picked first will immediately convince the team captain to pick the other next. The whistle blows. The popular captain calls your name first. You step onto the field, feel the sudden rush of validation from the cool kids, and when the captain asks who should join, you freeze. You look at your friend waiting by the shed, then back at the captain. You point to a faster kid instead. You win the match, but during the celebration, you can't look toward the sidelines. What nobody explains to you at this age is that breaking an unwritten contract yields immediate rewards, but it permanently shrinks the world of people who will ever trust you again. Level 3. The group project parasite. You are 17, staring at a flickering laptop screen at 2 a.m. It's high school chemistry, a joint assignment worth 40% of your final grade. Your partner is a meticulous, stressed-out student who spent weeks compiling data. You promised to design the slides, but you spent the weekend playing video games. You upload a rushed, messy presentation 10 minutes before the deadline, knowing their flawless text will carry your terrible formatting. You both get an A-. Your partner sends a short, cold text, "Thanks for nothing." You get the grade without the sweat, but a strange weight settles in your chest. It is here you perceive a fundamental truth. You can ride the coattails of someone else's labor, but you lose the right to call yourself capable. Level 4. The workplace ghost. At 24, you sit in a gray cubicle at a mid-tier logistics firm, smelling of stale coffee and carpet cleaner. The department manager announces a performance bonus for the team that streamlines the quarterly shipping data. It requires working late, sharing spreadsheets, and combining client lists. You look around at your colleagues. If everyone shares their data, the department wins, but if you hoard your unique regional contacts while exploiting their public leads, your personal metrics will skyrocket. You spend 3 weeks nodding in meetings, taking notes, but keeping your best files hidden on a personal flash drive. You win the monthly bonus voucher, but the atmosphere at the water cooler turns ice cold whenever you approach. The difference between looking good and being good appears at this exact moment, as you realize your isolated victory just turned your workplace into a minefield. Level 5. The strategic renegade. You are 28, managing a small digital marketing boutique. This is where you stop copying others and begin to understand the actual mechanics of the game. A major client offers a massive contract, but you need to partner with a rival freelance designer to fulfill it. You sit in a minimalist coffee shop, reviewing a contract that dictates a 50-50 split of the workload and profit. But you secretly negotiate a side deal with the client's software provider to give you a kickback for recommending their platform. You tell yourself it's just business, a smart optimization. The project succeeds, but 3 months later, the designer discovers the kickback through an invoice error. They don't yell. They just post a detailed breakdown of the transaction in a private industry forum. Suddenly, 2 other agencies cancel scheduled collaborations with you. This changes the way you look at everything, because you finally see that a reputation built on short-term defections has an expiration date. Level 6. The iterated apprentice. Now 32. You are starting over in a new city, operating a boutique consulting firm. The sting of past blacklists has taught you a brutal lesson. Life is not a single round of the game. It is played over and over with the same people. You enter a joint venture with a local tech supplier. The opportunity to skim extra profit from the hardware margins presents itself instantly, just like the old days. The temptation is there, but you choose to disclose the margin discount to your partner upfront, splitting the savings equally. Your partner is surprised by your transparency. For the first time, you understand the immense power of predictable cooperation. You didn't maximize your immediate payout, but 2 weeks later, that same partner hands you an exclusive, unlisted contract because they know you won't stab them in the dark. Level 7. The tit-for-tat operator at 36. Your business is expanding, and you have learned to balance kindness with ironclad boundaries. A new subcontractor tries to exploit your collaborative nature by delivering substandard work 3 days past the deadline, expecting full pay. The old you might have defection cycled back or passively accepted it. Instead, you instantly freeze their next milestone payment and reduce their project scope by half. When they panic and apologize, offering a discount, you immediately restore the relationship and pay them fairly for the corrected work. You have mastered the classic dynamic. Start cooperative, punish defection instantly, but forgive immediately when compliance returns. If you have traveled this far along the path, it is because you have already understood that the higher levels of life are not about blind trust, but about predictable boundaries. Level 8. The generous architect. You are 41, sitting in a boardroom overlooking the city skyline, presiding over an industry consortium. You are no longer just playing the game, you are designing the environment where others play. You establish a regional supplier network where members share surplus inventory during supply shocks. A major competitor experiences a warehouse fire. By the old rules of the playground, you should let them drown and take their market share. Instead, you coordinate a temporary supply loan from your own reserves to keep them afloat. Your peers think you are soft, until 6 months later when a sudden regulatory shift threatens your entire sector, and that same competitor lobbies the government on your behalf, saving your license. You realize that true power is creating a system where cooperation is the most profitable strategy for everyone involved. Level 9. The institutional anchor. By age 48, you are a recognized industry veteran, managing an international investment fund. Startups and legacy corporations alike seek your endorsement. You are presented with a massive opportunity to short a vulnerable green energy competitor, a move that would net your fund millions but collapse a vital municipal project. The pressure from your board is intense. But you look at the larger ecosystem, knowing that destroying this competitor ruins the public trust in the entire sector. You reject the short, instead structuring a collaborative bailout that stabilizes the market. You lose a quick payday, but your fund is named the primary partner for the state's 20-year infrastructure initiative. You have evolved past individual gain. You are now the anchor that prevents the entire local economy from defecting against itself. Level 10. The sovereign game designer. At 55, you write the rules. You are appointed to a global regulatory commission tasked with carbon credit enforcement. You look at multinational corporations who have spent decades playing a devastating game, polluting the planet because the individual cost of cleaning up is higher than the penalty. You don't appeal to their morality, you restructure the payoffs. You design a system where compliance yields massive tax exemptions, and defection results in immediate asset freezing across all borders. You watch as entities that spent half a century cheating suddenly compete to see who can be more sustainable. You realize that human nature doesn't change, but the math behind their choices can be rewritten by a steady hand. Level 11. The living philosophy. You are 64, walking through the quiet courtyard of a university where you now lecture. Your hair is silver, your movements deliberate. You are surrounded by brilliant, ambitious young minds who ask you for the secret to your long, unblemished career. They want to know the tricks, the hidden clauses, the clever defections that got you to the top. You look at them and smile, remembering the stolen stickers, the hidden spreadsheets, and the lonely victories of your youth. You tell them that the ultimate strategy is remarkably simple. Be reliable, be clear, and never be the first to betray. Guard this perspective closely, because it explains why so few people ever achieve true longevity in a world obsessed with the next quarter. Level 12. The legacy echo. At 75, you sit in a comfortable armchair in your study, watching the afternoon sun light up the leather-bound books on your shelves. On your desk sits a framed Lifetime Achievement Award, but your eyes wander to an old, faded golden star from your elementary school days, kept in a small glass box. A notification chimes on your tablet. A young entrepreneur you mentored a decade ago has just turned down a hostile buyout that would have ruined their partners, choosing instead a long-term shared growth model. You close your eyes, feeling the complete circle of the journey. You started as a frightened child trying to steal a crumb from a friend, and you ended by teaching an entire generation how to build a bigger table. Somewhere right now, a 7-year-old child is looking at a package of biscuits, staring at their classmate, trying to decide whether to speak or stay silent. The game never ends, but you finally know how to win it.